So I'm going to talk to you quickly about the XL2720 and the XL2735 and the XL2740 and what the difference are. Basically, there's going to be a video that comes out which can be a shopping video, and the shopping video is going to have all the BenQ monitors, and I'm going to be playing a scenario of games that are most popular, that most people will buy the monitor just for that game, and obviously to see which is different, like pixel density, obviously hertz, like frame rates per second, what's like kind of the in, the new, the old, and what's the difference. So I'm going to just quickly go through it and speak to you a little bit about the XL2720, XL2735 and XL2740. So the difference is the XL2720 is nice, easy, budget, entry level 144Hz panel. So meaning that it's running at 1920 by 1080 resolution, which means that it's the cheaper option to buy because it's the older monitor to buy. But obviously I'm not going to say anything else about too much about it because it's obviously following in the video, and then you can understand what I'm talking about and it should make sense. The XL2735 is the 2K version, and that's also 27 inches at 144Hz. So say that you're going to be playing PUBG, Call of Duty, Battleground, all those sort of games, not Battleground, Battlefield, the games that you're going to be using sniper guns, a bit of Fortnite if you're a sniper man, you can zoom straight in and get that real good clarity and making sure that you're not going to miss your actual enemy that you're shooting, because if your pixels are lower than what they expected, so say that you're running 1920 by 1080 resolution but you're actually zooming in, it's a different story, because what will happen is that you will get pixels that are not in the right place, and when you shoot you're not actually shooting properly, plus you'll get a bit of motion blur, but the motion blur is taken care of by actually the high hertz. So with 2K at 144Hz is brilliant. Now with the XL2740, that has 240Hz and it also has diac and color vibrance just like the other ones, other than the XL2720, which is just you plug and play, it's calibrated and you play the game and you're ready to go. You got a little thing that's called color adjustment or something like that. It's not color vibrance, but it's in the video. And yeah, it's such an awesome screen at 1920 by 1080 resolution. How old it is, I couldn't really tell the difference between the 2K and the XL2735 and which is a 2K version, and the XL2740, which is a 1920 by 1080 resolution, but with 240Hz. It's jam-packed with functions, and it's so smooth. The difference is that the 240Hz is going to run smoother if you've got a more expensive graphics cards, or a graphics cards that can do the most performance. So that means continuity of 240Hz progressive without frame drops. So you need a really powerful graphics card and a decent CPU to obviously run it, so there's no bottlenecking throughout the actual like frame rates per second test. The other one is the XL2735. I think, did I talk about that? Yeah, the XL2735 is the slightly older one, and that is at 2K, but it runs at 144Hz. But you still need a powerful graphics card for it, because technically it's 2K, so it's double the resolution of 1920 by 1080 resolution. So that means that when you're actually playing games that are you're on a sniper level, that means you start to zoom in and stuff, and then the pixel density is not missing, and obviously you've got 144Hz, so there's hardly any motion blur, and it's just awesome. So it's a difference in what games do you play. Do you play PUBG? Do you play Fortnite? Do you play Battlefield? Do you play Call of Duty? I think I said Call of Duty already. Those sort of games, even like Dragon Ball and Street Fighter and Tekken, where they need high frame rates per second to see when you'll counter attack in a move, that's where the hertz actually come in, and it doesn't judder, and it's going to be a mad video. So that's what I'm going to explain about that. There's also obviously the price, so what's in your budget. Obviously the 2720 is the older monitor, has 144Hz, use that as an entry level. Obviously the XL2735 is 2K, It's got 144Hz. It's the premium sort of graphics, but it's like in a mediocre, because obviously the XL2720 is the newest one, and it's got everything what all those other monitors have got. But there's going to be a shopping guide, and if you want to see the shopping guide, thumbs up for that. And obviously stay tuned and subscribe, and enjoy the rest of the video. Today is a great day because we've got the BenQ XL2720, and this is old school. Now, we've already done the XL35 and XL40, so we thought we'd go back into time to see what the difference is and what you can do with it. Now, we know that we can go at 100Hz, 120Hz and 144Hz on this monitor, and I think it's a standard 1920 by 1080 resolution on this monitor as well, and it has got some other functionality, but we don't know until we unbox it. So I've started to unbox it, so I'll get it all out, and then you can have a look, and this is what you'll buy, and if you can still buy it, because this might be end of life or coming to the end of life, because obviously the XL35 and the XL2735 and XL2740 are the newer additions. Obviously in the 27-inch, one's got 2K, one's got 1920 by 1080, one's got 240Hz, and one's got 144Hz. Whereas this is 1920 by 1080, it's got like 100Hz. Well, they all got that as well in increments, but I'm just saying this is the older version. So where have we gone? How far have we gone so far? Yeah, anyway, let's just get it out of the box. So first off, you get the stand, and the stand's pretty decent because it's a stand. Nah, I'm just joking. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's a stand, okay? Stand, very solid. It's got a different kind of design. It's got a plastic coating on the front. Got this big zip line across the front there. But you still got your open and lock where you can unscrew it and screw it together. And your little rubber pads to make sure it doesn't come off the desk. I'm going to stick that over here. And then you get your cable, which is obviously my cable or European cable, you might as well call it, or UK cable. It's a kettle lead. So there. Then you get all like your books and all that sort of stuff, and a CD. I don't know where you're going to put a CD in, obviously in a computer drive, but most people have USBs, or they download all the drivers straight from the internet, so you get all that, and that's a warranty as well, and tells you how to do certain things. Then you also get a cover as well, which we're going to put this on the screen afterwards. But you get a cover, and it feels like a very heavy plastic, soft plastic that goes over the top. And you've got a hole there as well, and I think that's for the carrying bit of the screen, but we'll get that up afterwards and put it all on there. And that's a pretty nice addition to have. You get Dpi Sub Cable, which is your normal standard cable, and this is a normal flat line rather than a crisscross, which is awkward for some computers. Then you've got an upstream cable, it's just a USB black one, not even a blue one, so that means that a cable might be slower, not too sure. Then obviously you've got another plug for different countries, might be America or I don't know. The different plug socket, the 2-pin, dangerous plug socket in my eyes, because if I plug it into my socket, it's going to blow up, isn't it? Anyway, we've got this ugly looking keypad, and I definitely say it's definitely ugly, but it's not too bad. But the pot key is better. If I get that 1 second. So this is their new version, this is their old version. I do like the steps, but the steps are kind of back to front unless you're a back to front person. But anyway, you know, I would have the 1, 2, 3, and then obviously the interchangeable buttons, but it still does the same thing. I just prefer the look of this. I think this is nicer. So that's pretty cool. You get that included in the box. Then we get the stand. The stand looks nice. I like the red accent on there, and also to hang your headphones on the back, so it's a headphone stand, pretty durable. Then obviously like this clips into the Vaser mount. Looks nice with the ZOWIE logo on the back there, and it just plugs in, real simple, into the base. So now that's locked in, and I'll just screw it down where it says lock. Now that's all nice and tight, and then I'll move this out of the way, stick that there. Get this on the table. And then you get the monitor. The whole point about this, you get the monitor. So this is a 3D Vision version with the NVIDIA link to it. And then you've got these touchscreen buttons on the side, but I'll show you that in 1 second because I need to get this on the stand and I don't really want to break it. But actually, before I go any further, let's talk about it quickly at the bottom before I put it on the stand. This will make my life easier. So underneath we've got USB 2, an upstream 2. So those are USB 2s, not USB 3s. We've got 2 HDMI ports, Dpi Sub port, VGA port, display port, and a mini USB port, and a kettle lead is where your power goes into. It looks like you've got a Kensington lock on the back as well. And on the side, upside down on this screen, you've got a 3.5mm headphone jack, 2 USB 2s on the side there, and nothing on the other side, and just a BenQ logo there. And then we just stick it on the actual phaser mount. Don't even know if it's on there properly. Right, so, and that's as simple as it is. So I can move it around, turn it into portrait mode without breaking it. God damn. So I spin it around, and there's definitely a lot of difference compared to the other stand. Number one, if you take this to a LAN party, you've got markers on there and it'll tell you where you had it last in, or where you want it set up last. But you've got all of this like swinging degree, you've got a tilt down and then tilt up, and then you've got the portrait mode as well. You can tilt backwards and forwards and twist it however you see fit. So that's pretty awesome. I like it. I think it's cool. So markings are different, stands are different. This is different. The back's different because on the side of the other gaming monitor you do have a push out button, and then obviously you can have your headphones on that side rather than this side. So it's all really awesome. So okay, let's move on to the next part, which will be obviously setting up and seeing what the graphics look like compared to the newer monitors. So far, can't see any blur, yet the motion blur on here is actually off. So blur reduction's off, which is just amazing on this screen. Obviously on that camera it's just picking up 29 frame rates per second, whereas on here, to be honest with you, I don't even know what I've even got the screen on. But it just looks lovely. I will have to obviously go into the settings and change it, because I should have done that for the first start of the video. What an idiot. But anyway, I should die around here anyway, and then I'll set it up properly. Oh dear. Alright, let's see. Any guns? Why is no one here? Where are they shooting from? Oh. Oh my god! Who did I get killed by? Oh, you're an idiot as well. Savages, absolute savages. Alright, let me check the screen. So now what I'm going to do is go into the screens, control and delete, go into here, go into my desktop. Where's my desktop? I don't know where my desktop is. Make the screen smaller. Go into desktop, go into display settings. So yeah, this screen's 1920 by 1080 resolution. Go into graphics settings. No, actually go into advanced display settings, 8-bit RGB, 1920 by 1080, go into here, with the standard dynamic range, and I think I did click it. And then go into monitor, oh yeah, I'm at 144Hz, so 144Hz, apply, okay, well we've obviously seen that, so let's see what it looks like on, let's go through the different hertz, let's go from 100Hz. Actually, you want to see it at 144 Hz, doesn't make sense at 100 Hz. Let's go 144 Hz. Okay, escape, straight into Fortnite, play, do a little dance, yay! And then what we're going to test is for motion blur. Graphic equalizer, I know for a fact is definitely on. So the menu looks pretty nice. I like this, even though it's an old menu. I mean, yeah, old menu thing. These are heat resistant, not heat resistant, heat buttons. So your fingers need to be quite warm to obviously touch it to make it work. We've got brightness, contrast, low blue light, and black equalizer. We don't have any color vibrance, but what we do have is we have color temperature. So, but it's obviously not as good as color vibrance. We've got user mode, which you already got that on the other monitors as well. Normal, bluish, reddish, or user mode. Got blur reduction. Black equalizer on 12 at the moment, so that means that it's quite balanced at the moment. Contrast, low blue light for reading, stuff like that. Ooh, come on. And then dynamic contrast, picture. Actually, I'm gonna have to jump out. Where am I jumping out? Here? Okay, let's go. What else we got? Overscan display mode. I like how everything's on that side. It looks pretty cool. But I'm liking the fact that it's got blur reduction and it's off. So, let's see. I don't really need it on, obviously. But I want to see what it's like. I don't know. I can't see any blur to it. This screen's so good. It really is good. Can't see any bits that I don't like about it. Everything just looks quite sharp. This is straight out of the box as well. I ain't even calibrated it. It's just, this is the colour that you get straight away. So, guns, and I saw a gun. I bet you got the gun, didn't you? Right, so on this menu you've got like heat sensitive buttons on the side, which is pretty cool. You know, obviously you've got your power on and off button, turn it back on. How long does it take? Around 3 seconds? No, about 5 seconds. Maybe 6 seconds. 6 seconds, that's the difference. Straight away, it took quite a long time, so I'll turn it off. That's completely off. Turn it back on, straight into the game. Right, bleep, that's straight back into the game. So that's about 6 seconds to come in, so it's definitely slower than the XL2735 and XL2740. But we'll go into the menu, let's have a look at what we've got in here. We don't have colour vibrance, but we've got something else, which is the same as the thing. Auto adjustment, height, position, vertical position, pixel, clock and phase. We've got picture, brightness, contrast, low blue light, black equalizer, which is already set to 12. Blur reduction as well, so if I go into that function quickly, and then going down. So the menu is a little bit more messed up compared to like the XL2735 and 2740. So blue lights off, black equalizers on, blur reductions off. I didn't even need to even use it because this monitor is so good. Got reset color, and then you've got AMA, that is on high at the moment. So if I change that to premium, I couldn't really tell much of a difference because the monitor just seems so sick. It really is good. Instant mode's on, sharpness is on between 5, and it does look sharp, even though it's a 1920 by 1080 resolution. I can turn it up. It looks even more sharper. Alright, so if I take that down, it looks more cinematic or flat. So 5 is definitely the best way to go with that. So go out of that, and then we've got my gamma as well, which is, how do I get into my when I get to gamma's off, that's why. Okay, and then we go down to picture mode, and then we've got the different sizes, we've got Sennheiser demo, so you can split the screen and check with your different user preferences. There's other gaming modes here, which is on this tab thing here, which I'll go to in a minute. So it doesn't activate straight away, so I'll go to BenQ, that's activated. Didn't really look much difference, to be honest with you. I guess it's just whatever's been set up already on the actual monitor. So I'm on gamer 1, I guess that's my settings. I'm going to go down to audio, as you can hear this volume. You can plug this in and have the volume on here as well. System as well, so you've got on-screen display settings, that's what I'm saying, D Sub, DVI, HDMI 1, HDMI 2, display port, those are all the connections that you can have in this monitor. You've got all the custom keys and the DDCI and the CI control as well. And obviously the information of what your monitor is, so XL2720, 920x1080 resolution, 60 minimum and at 144 maximum. And you can reset and mess the settings up. And now, this is what annoys me about this screen, is the fact that you have to have heated sensitive fingers. It's just a bit of a nightmare. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, the screen looks really nice for a TN panel. It's a nice 27-inch, more real estate. I'm liking it. Now, if you look and pan down here, oh gosh, I just literally pressed the button. So this is the old pot key controller right here. And then you've got, I would literally press that for 1, then 2, then 3, but they've done it the other way around, 1, 2, 3, which I think is a little bit awkward. This is what I also like as well, the fact that you can just clip it straight to the side of your monitor. It becomes the actual stand, that's it. And then you press the button in, it's a bit like a mouse when you're clicking it like that. And then obviously you can go back, so I'm going to my settings like that. So honestly, this is a lot more faster than the pot key, I think. But it's a slower response time of getting into the screen and turning it on and off. But yeah, okay. Right, so this is obviously the XL2720 and it's obviously near enough the end of the life, but you can still purchase this. I will leave a link in the description down below because obviously it's going to be fairly cheaper, I should say, to buy this monitor rather than the XL2735 or the XL2740, because technically this monitor is so nice. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even want this monitor myself because I thought this was not going to be great. And it's nice looking back at the old school times. And I literally switched this up to 144Hz. I'm using a GTX 970 graphics card on here and it's playing no problem. But obviously if you want to get the fully fledged 240Hz from the other monitors, or the other 144Hz at 2K, then you're going to need obviously a more powerful graphics card to have that continuity of frame rates per second and obviously stability. Most people prefer like the 1920x1080 resolution because they can have the stability and the frame rates per second, which means when they're gaming they can accurately shoot people. And talking about accurately, there's no blur in it. There's no blur at all. And this is a brand new game that's online and there's no blur to it. It is so clean. And when you do sharpness, it's just like, oh, back in the day I'd think sharpness is what I want now. I could sharpen it and make it look sharp. These new screens are sometimes a little bit difficult. When you sharpen them, they look pixelated because they're separating all the gradients with it. It's like all the colours are separated, but with this it actually just looks sharper. Weird. But anyway, this is a freaking good monitor and it's a shame that's end of life because I did take the mick out of it a little bit, but I actually do think it's actually pretty good. But I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can try and buy this somewhere. But after playing with the XL2735 and the XL2740, XL2740 was nice, but the XL2735 was better because of the 2K resolution. I can zoom in. Say you're using a sniper rifle, which like I'm a sniper man, I would like to be able to zoom in, get the frame rates with continuity without blurring or anything like that, and you got it. But with a 1920x1080 resolution, it's more like if you're a shotgun person or going around with different guns, you're a little bit of an all-rounder, then that monitor is more for you. But the new version is even more improved because it's 240Hz and like you got so much functions that you can improve it in that. You've got colour vibrance, you've got diac, you've got all this stuff on there. Whereas this hasn't got that much, yet it's just really like you plug it in and it works. Now, the weird thing is that I've used the newer screens first before the older one, thinking the older one's going to be crap, but I actually think the older one is actually pretty good. So I definitely would give this screen, because how old it is, I would give this screen like a 9, a solid 9 out of 10. The sensitivity buttons, I'd give it more like a 5 out of 10, because it looks stylish with the aesthetics and that, and it's just like no buttons. The menu is like 3 out of 10 though, it's all over the place. So I'm glad BenQ has sorted that out with the buttons. The response time to turn it on and off is really long compared to all the monitors that they've got now. But if you can live with that, that's up to you. And I like the fact that you can put this into a stand. There's definitely things I like about it. It's got a thicker bezel than like the XL2720, but I think you can get a bigger screen. This is the entry level of obviously higher frame rates and hertz. That's how I got to look at it as. That would have been the entry level, and it would be, if you can still get it now, be the entry level against XL2735 and XL2740. Anyway, I'm going to be going now because I've said enough about this monitor. I think it's awesome. I can't even slag it off. I really do think it's good. But if you can get your hands on this monitor, go and buy it. If you can't, look at the, well, it depends on what game you're playing as well. Which I'm going to be making a video, which is going to be a very long video of all the monitors put together with different types of games. And it's going to be like, which one is for you. So if you're playing, say, Street Fighter or Tekken, or obviously PUBG or Fortnite, what else is there? Call of Duty, all those sort of games that like first person shoot 'em ups, or they're games like Dragon Ball where it's very fast all over the screen, and if you've got a little bit of an incline of blur, you get hit, so you can't really concentrate on what you're doing because you're getting beaten to F. So it's good to have those high frame rates per second. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing that video. If you want to see that, leave that in the comment down below and say I want to see you go mad with all these monitors, and obviously show off like these different games, because I want like a shopping video, basically like a shopping video. What monitor is going to be for me individually, for anyone who wants to see that video. Anyway, go and hit the links down below, subscribe, share, like, and all that sort of stuff. See me on social media and all that. I see the social media is moving a little bit, so must be doing something. I am going to go on there and add some stuff because I really want to. If you've got any ideas, leave them in the comments down below. But anyway, I'm Roger and out.